Namaste to all. Few points that came to my mind on what we could possibly do from the point of view of Vedic Dharma on the pious day of Krishna Janmashtami. The first and foremost thing what we must understand is Krishna Janmashtami is not a festival that is mentioned in Vedas. Vedas are eternal knowledge applicable in each and every srishti, each and every creation. So Krishna Janmashtami, Sri Krishna being born in this srishti, in this universe, naturally reference of Sri Krishna in Vedas is not found. So Krishna Janmashtami is a pious festival because Sri Krishna was a great yogi. He attained Samadhi. He studied Vedas under the guidance of his Acharya Sandipan Maharishi. And he was a very great tapasvi. When we read Mahabharata, whenever I have listened to this from my Acharya, that Sri Krishna used to wake up at 12 a.m. midnight every day without fail. You can imagine a person waking up at 12 a.m. and doing Ashtanga Yoga Abhyas until 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning. And at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, he comes down to the Yajna to do Yajna along with the Rishis. So he was a very great follower and philosopher of Vedas. So Sri Krishna took birth in this universe. So naturally Sri Krishna, his body was not eternal. Sri Krishna is not eternal. Of course, the Jivatma of Sri Krishna is eternal. Jivatma is always eternal. Jivatma is neither born and it will never die. So Sri Krishna is still around us somewhere in this universe. He is in the moksha now. But we must remember to walk the path of Sri Krishna and not worship Sri Krishna as a keeping his idol, as a respect to Sri Krishna on this pious day of Janmashtami. The word Janma means somebody has taken birth. So Janmashtami, during this Ashtami Tithi, Sri Krishna took birth. So he came in the soul took birth in the human body itself means that Sri Krishna is not Almighty God, because God cannot take birth. God does not take birth. Also cannot take birth because God is omnipresent. God's rules of Vedas are unchangeable. So a couple of points that came to my mind is during the Janmashtami, we can try to at least wake up early in the morning in Brahma Muhurat around 4 o'clock or 4:30 maximum. And after waking up, after getting fresh, we must chant Om and Gayatri Mantra. We must do jap of Om and Gayatri Mantra as done by Sri Krishna also. If you know Asan Pranayama, please also do Asan Pranayama during the Brahma Muhurat. This was followed by Sri Krishna also, so we must follow his footsteps. Point number 2 is try to do Agnihotra just before the sunrise. For example, in my place, the sun is rising at 6 o'clock. I try to do Agnihotra at 5:45, so that when I complete Agnihotra, I have the sun fully risen, and then I've finished Agnihotra. If it's also kind of mesmerizing to do Agnihotra when it is little bit dark and it's just about to get bright. So it will be very nice experience for sure, and you can try tomorrow on the day of Janmashtami. And Sri Krishna also used to do Agnihotra just before the sunrise, and it's a best time to do Agnihotra. If you could not do due to your work or other priorities, no problem, but please try to do Agnihotra at least on the day of Janmashtami, and try to take a sankalp that you will do Agnihotra every day throughout your life as done by Sri Krishna. And then the another point which came to my mind is try to read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, ek Vedic Rahasya, book written by my Acharya Swami Ram Swarup Yogacharya, the only authentic Gita commentary available in this world, most extensively researched and written based on the Vedas by my Acharya. Each and every shloka of Bhagavad Gita from which Ved mantra reference Sri Krishna could have spoken that shloka has been written by my Acharya. If you have the book, read that book. If you do not have the book, you can try to order part 1, Sri Krishna. This is the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is the part 1 book. This is a selfie camera. I'm not sure if it's coming properly. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Ek Vedic Rahasya, Pratham Bhag. This you can order from website vedmandir.com. Really beautiful book. And my Acharya has quoted so many hundreds of Veda mantras for every shloka. I mean, every shloka some Veda mantras. So for the first 6 chapters, this is Pratham Bhag. You could get knowledge of about hundreds, 200 to 300 Veda mantra also. Really beautiful book. If you do not have the book, you can also go through my playlist, Bhagavad Gita, where I have made several videos based on the book written by my Acharya. Please go through at least 1 or 2 Gita shloka, wherein you can understand the Vedic meaning of those shlokas. Then another point I have written is respect Sri Krishna and Almighty God as they were, as they are. We have a confusion in our mind, or we have a mithya jnana. Viparyayo mithya jnana atadrupam pratishtam. We have a mithya jnana, a false knowledge, thinking that Sri Krishna is Almighty God based on some of the Gita shlokas. Sri Krishna is not Almighty God. As I told, God cannot take birth. Janmashtami name itself indicates that this is the birthday of somebody. Janma hua hai kisi ka. So this is not Almighty God. Sri Krishna is not Almighty God. So we must give respect to Sri Krishna as he was. He was a great yogi. In fact, 18th chapter. This is the part 4 of Bhagavad Gita. My Acharya has written Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In the 18th chapter, in the last shloka, Sri Krishna was addressed as Yogeshwar by Vyasmuni. So Sri Krishna was a great yogi. He attained Samadhi, he attained Dharammeg, final Samadhi, Asampragyata Samadhi. And in Samadhi, he realized Almighty God. And after realizing Almighty God, he spoke about Almighty God. Sri Krishna is a great Yogeshwar as mentioned in Mahabharata as well as in Gita. So we must respect Sri Krishna as he is, and also we must respect Almighty God as he is. We must not confuse Sri Krishna to be Almighty God and God to be Sri Krishna. Respect to Almighty God is possible only when we do Om Jap, Gayatri Mantra Jap, Agnihotra, Stuti, Prarthana, Upasana, listening to Vedas. And that comes to the fifth point. Try to learn at least 1 or 2 Veda mantras on this pious day. If you have a Bhashya of Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati Yajurveda in Sanskrit, you can learn that if you know Sanskrit. If not, please go to my playlist. You can learn several Veda mantras from my channel. Under the playlist Vedas, I have made several meanings of Veda mantras, mostly taught to be by my Acharya, or I have taken it from Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati's translation. So you can try to learn one or two Veda mantras on this pious day. Try to take notes and try to remember Sri Krishna, that he did intense Ashtanga Yoga Tapasya, and also he did Veda Adhyayan throughout his life. My Acharya today, in one of his pravachan, my Acharya was telling that Sri Krishna's, inside him, in Kan Ved Vidya was there. Ved Vidya was omnipresent inside Sri Krishna's mind 24/7. He was always dedicated to Ved Vidya. He was a great tapasvi, great yogi. Although he was seemed to do, driving a chariot, or he was seemed to do Rajya Dharma, etc. But still, he was a complete yogi by his heart, by his mind, etc. So we must try to learn Vedas on this pious day. We must try to respect Almighty God through Vedas and respect Sri Krishna through Vedas only, because the Rishi Munis can be given respect only through Vedas. Almighty God says in Vedas, in the Rig Veda first mandal itself, so many mantras are there where Almighty God gives highest respect to Ved Vidvans and Rishi Munis. So if Almighty God is giving high regards to them, we must also obey Almighty God and give highest respect and regards to Sri Krishna Maharaj. And also you could try to establish contact with a Yogeshwar if you know, or else try to read some articles written by Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, written by my Acharya on this pious day, to understand more about Vedic Dharma. Sri Krishna was a great, my Acharya always says, Ram and Krishna were two eyes of our India, or of our Bharat Bhumi. So one of the eyes is Sri Krishna, and his eyes was the knowledge eyes, Jnana Chakshu. So, and his Jnana was Vedic knowledge. So we must try to read books written by Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati or by my Acharya on this pious day. I already told, please try to read Bhagavad Gita book. If you do not have Bhagavad Gita book, you can also go to vedmandir.com and try to read my Acharya's articles and other question and answers, wherein you can get tremendous knowledge and information about Vedas. So these are some of the advices I would give. And also, please try to take sankalp to eat vegetarian food. Try to consume only vegetarian food always, also on this pious day, because Sri Krishna was a Vedic follower. He was a Himsavadi, he was a vegetarian, and Sri Krishna and all the Rishi Munis always promoted vegetarianism, because God prohibits non-veg in the Vedas. So we must try to follow Almighty God. So these are some of the points which came to my mind. I thought of making a quick video. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.